Now, the national president of Private Polytechnic in Nigeria, Professor Benjamin Bsc, has appealed to the federal government to, as a matter of urgency, address the dichotomy between HND and Bsc holders and not to close private polytechnic as they meet all the requirements needed to operate as a tertiary institution in the country. Professor Benjamin made the appeal when he led his team on a visit to the Minister of Education in Abuja to highlight some of their concerns and call for urgent intervention by the government. Education correspondent Sobra Usman was there and tells us more.
Professor Benjamin said some of the policies does not favor the polytechnic students and tasked the Ministry of Education to address some of these concerns as polytechnics are highly equipped to educate students on technological knowledge.
Most of the private polytechnics are about to be closed. We have the passion of it for education. We came into the education industry and we are asked to buy so many equipments, get so many halls, get so many 50 hectares of land. I bought over 50 hectares of land to invest into education system. And suddenly there are a lot of governmental policies and laws by sister agencies to make sure that we lack enough students in the school. And two, the dichotomy of Bsc and the HND is quite alarming. Go to advanced countries, they talk about technology. They don't talk about too much of oral or written matter. We talk about physical developments. And without technology, you cannot go to anywhere. So we have the passion to develop Nigeria.
Responding, the Minister of Education, Professor Tahir Mamman, appreciates the roles and investment made by private sector in the tertiary education, while promising to address concerns raised by the body.
We know and appreciate the role and the investment being made by the private sector in the education sector. Nigeria is growing at a rate that the government definitely cannot cope with, and therefore the complement of the private sector is terribly important, very, very important in all dimensions. Like looking at the private sector now in the university education, they have more than doubled what is in the public domain.
The Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Education, Mr. Andrew Adejo, urged private polytechnic owners to sensitize students on the essence of polytechnic education.
What we will be looking at, which this ministry is pursuing, and you'll be surprised that we want to make technology more important than blue collar. And that's what the minister is pursuing. So it's not a question of comparing yourself with university degree. No, it's the question of what would you do. So what you help us now, which we know is part of the problem technology is having, is that you finish your HND, there's no industry you can work with. And that is why you, private polytechnic, you design your programs, do programming that you have graduates that they are employable.
Sobra Usman, ASU Television News.